Hello, everyone out there in Radio Land. This is Dan Beasley coming to you live from Hartsville, South Carolina. This morning we have the sad news that there was a bombing that took place yesterday at the Boston Marathon at the finish line, and about one block down from it, police have reportedly found about approximately 5 devices, um, and three of those devices were disarmed. However, they're saying that they're kind of crudely made, and depending upon the chemical composition, they're going to determine whether or not it was a domestic terrorist attack or if it was a foreign domestic attack. One Saudi young man, 22 years of age, is being detained with burns. He was spotted on the rooftop near the finish line, watching the marathon, and as the bomb went off. So he's being questioned and being detained by police. He's not a suspect yet or anything, but um, they're going to be questioning him intensely. Um, we have to notice one thing in this world is it's not getting any better. As the morals decay and as Western civilization unravels, we're going to find more and more of these things happening. We've got the banks melting down. We've got the economy is melted down. We've got mass confusion. We've got confusion in just about every sector of our society. Um, we've got people that are marrying same-sex marriages. You name it. I mean, as much confusion as you could possibly throw into something. That's what we have. We are no better than the people that God destroyed back in Sodom, in biblical times when Sodom and Gomorrah were great cities of trade, and He did not spare them. Even though the one of the three sole survivors from the cataclysm that happened that day kept asking, "What if what if so many righteous people lived there?" They were told that it would not be destroyed. But no general warning was given to the entire city because the city had become so degenerated and so decayed and such moral decay that they did not see the need for God. They had no God, not the real God, and they did not want to retain any knowledge of the real God. And these people were living their lives as though we do today. I mean, it was from day to day, but when the angels came to visit the house of Lot, they tried to attack the angels, and they were offered virgins instead, and they refused them, and they wanted the angels. Uh, the angels struck them blind, and then Lot and his two daughters left. Lot's wife turned back half-heartedly, looking back, wanting to go back, and she was destroyed. So the rest of the story is today archaeologists, all they can find is ash layers, and they can't find any signs of archaeological evidence of the cities, other than the fact that there was a massive fire that consumed the area. Um, how does this relate to what happened yesterday in Boston? Well, move forward about 4 or 5 thousand years. Okay, you've got the same situation going on. Man may have changed his technology and his techniques of doing things, but his morals remain the same. He is still a depraved animal, a depraved creature. He has a hole in his heart the size of a place where God would fit. And even nature teaches him that there is a God. He can look up at the heavens and he can see the glory of God as it's displayed in the heavens. He can see himself. He can see how he's wonderfully and marvelously made. Um, However, he he seeks to explain all of these things away as a God in a rock, a God in a piece of wood, a God in just about any other form other than a God of spirit and a God of love, which is what the real God is. It's like when Paul was going through one of the cities, I think it might have been Corinth. They had a statue to every god, and then they had one that was to the unknown God. And Paul says, "This is the God that I came to declare to you." You have to look at it, people. Where have we come since the 1950s? I mean, those of us have been around since then. I mean, do you remember before any of these things ever happened? Before the first mass murderer? Before the killing without motives? Before people that were stealing? I mean, we used to sleep with our front doors open and our windows open, and we feared no evil because there was no evil to be feared. But we would hear about it in faraway places, like New York and places like that instead of South Carolina. And every year, the stories would come to places that were a little bit closer, a little bit closer, a little bit closer, till finally, like a cloud or a fog, it just moved in. And then the 1960s, 1970s, you had this, the baby boomers were in their teens, and it was drugs, sex, and rock and roll all of a sudden. I mean, it was like Woodstock. Everything changed. The music changed. The things that people worship changed. I mean, they no longer had regard for each other. They know about it. They no longer had any feelings for each other as human beings. They saw each other as utilitarian type things, utilities, something to be used and cast aside just like an empty soda can. Now you spring ahead and you move ahead towards Vietnam destroyed the spirits of a lot of people. The soldiers, they were treated like rabble when they came home. They were never ever treated with respect. A lot of them had mental illness. A lot of them could not adapt to society because they had changed so much. We go on and we look at what all of the human blood that was spilt in World War I and World War II and Civil War and the Revolutionary War. And we say, just how cheap is American blood? Just how cheap is it? Does it run deep? It feeds the tree of liberty, but just how cheap do we regard it? Or how expensive is it? It should be very, very expensive. But we treat it as though it's water. We treat it that it's cheaper than water. We go and we have our we go and we build our ivory towers, and we build our businesses, and we conduct our businesses with the world, and then we're superior to the world, and we've done everything else to try to improve our way of life, and then the rest of the world complains that we're using their resources, so they decide to band together and form, a council on foreign affairs, and they decide that they want to be on equal footing as we are. So after so long, after trying so many years, I think 50 years, they finally convinced people to sign agreements to bring our country into the world economy. There was a European market, a European common market at one time, which became the EU, and then the EU became a competitor to the US, and of course China, that was wooed by former President Richard Nixon. He goes and he tries to open up the China market for America to sell to, but instead of selling to China, we ended up buying from China. And in doing so, we ended up killing off our jobs in America. So we signed a most favored trading partner agreement with China for 10 years that was extended. It used to be Japan, and Japan was on the upswing at one time until we pulled the most favored trading partner um, title away from them and gave it to China. And then after that, the rest of the story is China ends up having to loan us money to bail us out of our economic mess that we're in, and as a result, they end up owning the banks that we have, and as a result, they have a vested interest in our country. So our country, our Congress gives away the waterways, and the Panama Canal is under Chinese control. A lot of other things are under Chinese control, but right now, China's economy is on the downswing, and ours is going back up again because we're bringing some of the jobs back to America due to political pressure and and outcries from people that don't have jobs, and as a result, China's economy is going down, and as a result of that, China is seeking retribution somehow to try to reconcile their problem. And folks, I think everything is being set up for a world war. I mean, we have the Arab League, and the ring, in the Saudi Peninsula. We have probably about maybe 10 to 15 different countries over there that's already changed dictators in the last 5 years, 5 to 10 years. And America's CIA is behind the Arab Brotherhood, and the Arab Brotherhood is who constructed the bomb and the attack that killed our ally Anwar Sadat, who signed the Camp David Accords with Israel. So Egypt was at peace with Israel, but now we don't know. We don't know where Egypt is going to end up aligning itself. Just with the Brotherhood, it may very well end up being on the opposite side. Anyway, the other day, one encouraging thing is the Brotherhood did tell the Hamas to stop shelling or stop sending missiles to, attacking Israel with missiles. So that was an encouraging sign. But then we have this other player on the political scene called Iran, and Iran has nuclear capabilities. Iran has really just pulled the wool over our eyes and unveiled a second nuclear facility after the first one was destroyed. So we have on the scenes, we have North Korea trying to embellish itself with nuclear technology. Even if they don't even bomb us with radioactive fallout or anything, or blow up a city, they can still destroy us with an EMP, which is an electromagnetic pulse, which is generated from an explosive, which is generated from a nuclear explosive. It can be, covered the entire continent and destroy and fry everything that's electronic and put us back in the dark ages. Well, I can almost see a country wanting to do that. With just one little bomb, just do the whole thing. Just do it very simply. But this thing that goes on with the Boston Marathon, I mean, after we get these other countries and all these people in places and all that, we find out this: the Muslims, they want to rule the world. They want to spread their Sharia law throughout the entire world, and that is their objective. And they're looking for the 11th or 12th Imam to arrive. That is going to be their false Messiah. And they're trying to get everything in place before then, and we go and we look at the